Hi, hello, welcome to another exciting math lesson. Today we're going to be talking about the equation of a circle. During this lesson, you're going to learn how to find the center of a circle and the radius given the equation. You're going to write the equation of a circle if you know the center and the radius, and use completing the square to find the center of a circle and the radius given an equation. So vocabulary today is a circle is a round figure in which the distance from the center to any point on the figure is the same. Center of a circle is the middle point of a circle, and the radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. Alright, the derivation of the equation of a circle. So the equation of a circle comes from the Pythagorean theorem. So let's say I have my center here. Okay, so we're going to say, we'll just go with an arbitrary center. So we'll say our center is at x comma y, and we'll say that I have a radius r. Okay, so what we're going to do is if I have that circle, wasn't horrible. Okay, if I take this distance right here to get how far, we make a little right triangle here. I could say x minus, we'll call this h squared, plus, to get this distance right here, we're going to call it k. We're going to say y minus k squared. That equals the radius squared. And that's how we become kind of the center of the circle, or we get the circle equation. So the equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. Remember, this is finding distance here, and this is finding distance. Okay, and my radius is squared. So finding the center and the radius, notice that in the equation, the center is represented by h comma k, but they are negative in the general form of the equation. That means that if the center of the circle is 12, negative 2, the equation of the circle will say x minus 12 and y plus 2. So notice here, the big difference is the opposite signs that's happening. I have a positive 12, negative 12, and negative 2 and positive 2. We've seen that before when we were talking about the equation of a parabola. Okay, so finding the center of this and the radius of a circle. So find the center and radius of the circle. So I have plus 6. So that's going to be my h value. There's my k value. There's my radius. But for my center, remember we have to do the opposite. So it's going to be negative 6, comma, positive 3. And my radius is equal to the square root of 20. Remember, this is r squared. Okay, now you try, find the center and radius. Okay, my center is x would be negative 4, y would be a positive 13. My radius would be the square root of 9, which is equal to 3. Okay, so the general form of a circle. The standard form of circle, we know that. We just talked about that standard form. The general form, though, this looks yucky, doesn't tell us a whole lot. X squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c equals 0. So to go from standard form to general form, we just have to FOIL both parts of the standard form and move everything to one side. That's pretty easy. But to go from the general form to the standard form, we're going to have to use some completing the square. So you'll have to actually complete the square twice to create the circle equation. So you're going to move c to the other side, so that's the thing without a variable, and there's nothing variable attached to it. Take half the coefficient of x, this will be in the value in the x parentheses, square the results, step 2, and add it to the other side. take half the coefficient of y. This will be the value in the y parentheses. Square the results of step 4, add it to the other side, and simplify the right side of the equal sign. So let's go through this. So very simply, I'm going to add 8 to both sides, and I get x squared minus 8x. I'm going to kind of group these while I'm going. Plus y squared minus 10y equals 8. Notice I'm grouping my x and y's together. It's going to help me with my next step. So the next thing I'm going to do is notice I've left some gaps here. That's because I want to add some numbers there. But to figure out what we need to add is we need to complete the square. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take negative 8 and divide it by 2. We get negative 4. We square that number and we get 16. So I'm going to add 16 to that one, but I also have to add it here. And then I'm going to take my negative 10 here, divide it by 2. We get negative 5. We square that and we get 25. I'm going to add 25 there, but I also have to do it to the other side. The reason we did this is because we just completed 2 squares. We did this so we could write these in different forms. So now that I have this, we can factor each of those sides. I can rewrite that as x. What did we have to do to get that 16? We took this negative 4, so I get negative 4 squared plus, what did we do to get that 25? We took that negative 5 and squared it. So I get y minus 5 squared equals, I add those up, 25 plus 16 plus 8. 25 and 16 is 41, plus 8 is 49. And we can say our circle, or our center, not our circle, the center of our circle, there we go. Our center is at 4, 5. And the radius is the square root of 49, which is 7. So not too bad. We do have to complete the square twice, though. Alright, I'd like you guys to give this a go and see what you can find out. Alright, so you didn't have to subtract anything, so we're just going to regroup this to start off with. I get x squared plus 2x, leave a gap, plus y squared minus 24y equals negative 112. Remember, I'm leaving a gap because I'm going to find some perfect squares here. Or I'm going to create some perfect squares. So 2x, I'm going to take 2, divide it by 2, we get 1. Square that, and I get 1. So I'm going to add 1 here, but I have to also do it to that side. My green one here will do negative 24. So we get negative 24 divided by 2. We get negative 12. Negative 12 squared is 144. I'm going to add 144 there as well. Okay. Now, we can kind of group these here. And we can factor each side. I get x plus 1 here, squared, plus y minus 12 squared equals, let's see, 112 plus 1 plus 144. It's going to give me 33. Alright. So my center is at negative 1, positive 12. Remember, I'm going to take the opposite. I got those from my parentheses here. And then my radius is going to be the square root of 33. Alright, that's as easy as it is. Okay, if you have any questions talking about finding the center of circles, please come and talk to myself or a tutor, and we'd be happy to help you out. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks, bye.